Next part is IPCC, that is Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, a body of UN and World Meteorological Organization. तो उसकी 6th असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट आई है मित्रों, जो कि क्लाइमेट चेंज के बारे में बातें कर रही है. एंड दैट रिपोर्ट शोज दैट AR5 रिलीज्ड and there is improvement in observation based estimate information from paleoclimatic achieved from the comprehensive view of each component of the climate change. Climate change and climate action के बारे में भारत सरकार 1950 से ही डिस्कस कर रही है. We are having again a directive principle of state policy in terms of various kind of climate laws. So climate change is again a very crucial issue. We see that temperature is rising, then island nations are sinking, then there is huge forest cover. So new climate change module simulation, new analysis and method combining multiple lines of evidences lead to the improvement of understanding of human influences in a wider range of climate variables and including weather and climate extremes. तो weather changes और climate extremes के बारे में IPCC बात कर रही है. IPCC was created in year 1988, again important for prelims point of view, and it is a part of World Meteorological Organization plus UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. IPCCs provide governments at all levels with the scientific information they can use in the climate policies. IPCC currently has 195 members including in India. IPCC and United States Vice President Al Gore were jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their effort. So remember this fact, that is Al Gore was Vice President of America. Vice President of America along with IPCC was awarded Nobel Peace Prize. Very important. इन्हें क्या दिया गया? Nobel Peace Prize for their greater knowledge about man-made climate change and to lay the foundations for the measures of needed the contract of the climate changes. Now what is the current status of the climate? Human influence has disturbed the climate. We see that anthropogenic changes are brought by human development in various parts of the world. Recently USA has also come out from the climate change pact by this Trump government. Further, we see that the recent test of a nuclear bomb by South Korea created a huge volcanic eruption inside the ocean. That is again a matter of tension and huge issue. So well mixed greenhouse gases corrections since around 70-50 are unequivocally causing human activity. Human influence is leading to rapid changes in atmosphere, ocean, cryosphere and biosphere. Also human-made changes are there in the global retreat of glaciers, and there is sea level rise, drop in oxygen levels and observed precipitation changes are there, changes in near surface ocean salinity, global acidification of the surface open ocean, that decrease in northern hemisphere spring snow cover. These are all the changes due to climate change and global warming due to effective greenhouse gases production, which we need to cater. Now global surface temperature from 1.9 to 1.59 is rising, that is 0.88 degrees Celsius. So this is again a rise in surface temperature, that is again a matter of pondering. And each of the last 4 decades rise in the preceding 1850, then human caused global surface temperature increase in 1850, 1900, 2010, 2019 1.07 degrees Celsius. Then Arctic sea ice has been decreased about 40% in September and about 10% in March between 79 and 1808. Then global mean sea level increased by 0.20 million between 1901 and 2018. Sea level again seems to rise between 1971 3.7 millimeter per year between 2006 to 2018. So you notice the difference between rise of the actual sea level to the current level. It is rising from 1.3 to 3.7 millimeters per year. Remember this fact, that is very crucial data. Now, what we are dealing as a learned thinkers and UPSC aspirants and competitive person, that how the changes are impacting the environment across the earth and various parts of India as a territory. So, it is again leading to a global warming situation, which is leading to concentration of carbon dioxide at least 2 million years ahead. Further, it is leading to glacial retreat unmasked 2000 plus years. Also, it is leading to decadal warmer than 1,25,000 years. यानी कि सबसे ज़्यादा गर्मी अब बढ़ते जा रही है in terms of global warming and decadal warming. Sea level is being rising and leading to destruction of island nations. तो आइसलैंड नेशंस डूब जाएंगे मित्रों. यहाँ पे हम टूरिज्म करने जाते हैं in terms of Mauritius, Lakshadweep. This is issue. And summer Arctic ice covers smaller than any time in the last 1000 years of the period. Then again, ocean warming faster than any time since end of the last ice age. That is again a ocean warming situation. Ocean acidification at highest level goes for at least 26,000 years. Now, let us look at the facts and statistics that makes the important part of this analysis, that is global surface temperature change relativity to 1850 to 1900. तो हम देखते हैं मित्रों कि कैसे ग्लोबल सरफेस चेंज हुआ टेम्परेचर में और तापमान कैसे बढ़ते जा रहा है. इन 2015 it was recorded to 0 to 1. In 2050 it will rise to a level of 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius, and it is again seeming a rise to 8.5%. That is a matter of worry for the policy makers and environmentalists. So, environmentalists are also protecting the Arctic sea ice area, that is again a part of this level, and that is practically ice free surface that is going into declination to 2050, and which is again reducing to 2100 from 1.9 potential to 8.5. Further, we see that global ocean surface pH, that is acidification, and acidification rise होगा तो क्या हो जाएगा, that will again kill the all the grasses as well as all the small germs, small animals that are sailing inside the ocean. So, there is ocean acidification that is declining 2015 to 2050 and 2100 to 8.5%. Now, let us look at further more data that low likelihood and destruction of climate leading to the high impact storyline, including ice sheet, instantly destruction and processes under the SSP 8.5. तो SSP 8.5 reduce हो गया है, that is again lead to destruction of the ocean surface, acidification and rise in the global warming. That these things are leading to destruction of the massive level of climate surface. Now, when every increment of global warming changes at the regional level are seen, so we see that there is annual mean temperature of 1 degree Celsius of global warming, that is 1.3 degree Celsius contained generally larger over land than across most regions observed. Simulation patterns are consistent. So, consistently there is fall in the temperature and the quality of the nature. We see in this diagram that annual mean temperature rising from 1815 to 1900, that is 1.5 degrees Celsius. Where we read that? We read it COP26 again. Then across warming level, Arctic and Antarctic were more than tropics, and there is simulation changes of 2 degrees C at the global warming potential. Further, there is simulation change of 4 degrees Celsius global warming and there is simulation change of 1 degree C at the global warming level. So, this data shows that how the global warming potential is again rising. So, that again a matter of concern. Now, next news which makes for the environment is land degradation. So, how the land is being degraded? Land is a matter of geological instrument and again a geographical feature of good quality. So, land composition, composite of soil, then various kind of agriculture matters are also there, then there is forest soil. So, if the degradation of land is being happened, then automatically the soil productivity will be reduced and overall productivity of soil will reduced. So, land reduction leading to desertification and land degradation Atlas of India for the year 2018-19, which is removed by Ahmedabad Indian Space Research Organization. So, land degradation is defined as a negative trend in land condition caused by direct or indirect human interference, including anthropogenic climate change, यानी कि human made climate change condition से land की जो क्षति हो रही है, reduction in the quality of land, that is again a part of land degradation, loss of one of the following biological productivity, loss of ecological integrity or value of humans. Further, there is a forest degradation, a land degradation that occurs in the forest land, that is land degradation within a dry land region, arid, semi-arid and dry subhumid regions, that is termed as desertification. In major driver, there is a water erosion, water logging, salinity, alkalinity, mass movement for frost heaving, frost shattering, etc., and it is due to the mining, quarrying, livestock grazing, brick kilns, ईंट बनाने वाले plants, industrial effluents, pollutions, etc. So, impact of land degradation. So, impact of land degradation goes for the social impact, economical impact and ecological impact. Social impact leads to loss of culture, economic impact leads to loss of productivity in terms of agriculture. Then there is ecological impact that caters loss of biodiversity, that are all part of land degradation. So, reduction in land productivity leads to reduction in the environment and there is indigenous population, small farmers, etc. There is ability to store water resulting in the water scarcity, exacerbating existing societal tensions, forces migration. Forced migration is there that leads to heavy migration of rural community in the urban areas and unemployment generation. Then impacts human health, causing zoonotic diseases. Zoonotic diseases are what? Caused by rats, pigs and swines. Then water and foodborne diseases, respiratory diseases are also there. Then higher threat of malnutrition from reduced food and water security. Then there is environmental impact, which is causing extreme weather events, accelerates biodiversity loss and disruption in the ecosystem services. Remember this fact for your prelims and mains point of view. It leads to climate change, that is again a greenhouse gas condition and reduces ability of land acting in carbon sinks. So, carbon sink की तरह act करने लगता है, that is again GHG production. Rise in the rates and magnitude of several ongoing land degradation, proceeding introducing of degradation patterns and creating positive feedback cycle. Remember this fact. Now, what are the consequences we see in climate change issues? That is processes and consequences. प्रोसेसेस में हमने देखा कि देयर इज अल्टर्ड विंड पैटर्न, देन देयर इज इंक्रीज्ड रेनफॉल इंटेंसिटी, रेनफॉल ज़्यादा होने लगती है तो क्या होता है, मृदा का क्षय होने लगता है, देयर इज सॉइल डिप्लीशन, सॉइल इरोजन, देन देयर इज वार्मिंग, ड्रॉट्स, चेंज इन प्रेसिपिटेशन पैटर्न, and there is accelerated snow melt, then sea level rises. So climate change and land degradation loop shows that it leads to wind erosion, leading to water erosion, causing flooding, forest fire, invasion of species, woody encroachment, permanent thawing, coastal erosion and sea salination. Further, these consequences are through land degradation, and it is leading to radiative cooling by dust release. When there is release of huge dust, then it leads to radiative cooling. Further, it acts as a reduction of soil structure and organic matter. तो फिर क्या होता है, organic matter reduction. Then third is increase of buried carbon pool, and fourth is increase in reliance on fertilizers. This all system leads to changes in the albedo effect. So albedo effect hota hai, and what is albedo effect? That sun's temperature rise this at a certain degree, equator. So that leads to albedo effect, again leading to global warming, rise in methane, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide leads to again climate changes. So this process keep on revolving, leading to huge challenges over the environment, and there is burden on the climate that is again a part of this climate change system. So this creates a huge challenge for the existence, man-made and livestock problems. Next point is status of land degradation and desertification in India. So increase in area under degradation has been increasing from 29.77%, 97.8 million hectare, and total geographical area to 2018 and 19, then also 83.69 million hectare area is observed under rising in the cultivate increase in 1.5 million area. Prevalent process responsible for desertification, water erosion, and there is a vegetation degradation of 9.15%, wind erosion by 5.46% in 2018 and 19. Remember this fact. Then state-wise finding, ISFR data shows that 23.79% of the area undergoing desertification and land degradation was contributed by the Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Ladakh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana. So such states are systematically indulge in the land degradation due to massive anthropogenic activity, industrialization and urban development, then cutting of the trees, deforestation, so on, showing more than 50% of area under desertification and degradation. Remember this data. International efforts are there to combat the land degradation. So in order to combat land degradation, United Nations Conservation Program, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, that is UNCCD is there, which is again asked by UPSC previous year's question, and sole legally binding international agreement linking environment and development of sustainable land management. So UNCCD is combating land desertification and degradation, and there is land degradation neutrality target setting program, and it is a national land degradation mission setting process to date over 120 countries, and which is leading to the neutrality fund, land degradation neutrality fund, which was promised in COP13 in Ordos, China, and it is a first of kind investment leading to global land degradation process and global land outlook. First is land degradation neutrality fund, second is global outlook, land outlook provided by UNCCD in order to develop and cater the demand of the land degradation and the processes that are leading to land degradation. Then third is the Land for Life program launched by UNCCD in order to protect the land that is being degraded. Land for Life program was launched and which takes the challenges of land degradation, desertification and mitigation of drought. तो इसके लिए लोगों की जन भागीदारी बढ़ाना, मेकिंग पीपल सेंट्रिक एफर्ट, मेकिंग द पीपल अवेयर अबाउट दिस प्रोग्राम इज ऑल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ this land on life program. Now other programs by Bonn challenge is given by the government of Germany in Bonn and IUCN in 2011. So Bonn convention के बारे में पढ़ते हैं मित्रों. In Germany we are having Bonn convention in 2011 and that is again aims to reduce the 150 million of land under protected area and restoration by 2020. Further, it aims to provide the pledging of 21 million hectare degraded and deforested land by 2030. Now, what are the global initiatives reducing land development, reducing emission and deforestation by forest degradation, that is RED plus, REDD plus, again very important for UPSC. Oh, it is under the parties of United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change and it creates financial value of carbon stored. It again provides low carbon path for sustainable development, issues land degradation. So it is part of United Nations Convention on Climate Change which again makes the degradation neutrality strategy. So UNCCD is a program that caters the challenges due to land degradation. It also provides the mechanism in order to combat desertification. It also encourages people to take part in the environmental protection activity. It also makes the degradation neutrality strategy as a part of convention's land degradation neutrality. It creates a Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So government of India also take part in decision making for the protection of land. So it takes Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, soil health card scheme, soil health management scheme, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, per drop more crop, helping reducing land degradation. The Ministry of Environment and Forest Changes consolidated the intervention of participatory forest management through the Joint Management of National Forest Policy 1988 and then through enabling guidelines of 1990 Joint Forest Management. Now Joint Forest Management System is also there by MOEFCC and National Afforestation Program. Then there is a National Mission for a Green India, that is Green India Mission. So along with afforestation there is Green India Mission which again provide for regeneration of forest resources in various parts of the countries and there is again generation of replenishment of land and surfaces which are a part of forest fire prevention and management scheme. Now next part is Kigali Amendment and to Montreal Protocol. So Kigali Amendment was again for the environment protection. So Kigali to Montreal. So now Union Cabinet has approved the ratification of Kigali Amendment and the Montreal Protocol. So ये क्या कहते हैं ये देखते हैं हम. So there is a Belarus in Russian Federation that is a target set for the reduction of the hydrofluorocarbon consumption. Again asked in the UPSC question, very important, that for 2022 there is 65% of hydrofluorocarbon baseline and it is to be reduced. As a part is development countries, there is group 2 countries and there is again 24, 26, 65% of hydrofluorocarbon baseline and there is non-parties developing countries at a level of 2013, 65% of hydrofluorocarbons is there. So there is a freezing of 2024 for HCFC, and first step the 2019 2029 10%, for 2035 it is 30%, for 2040 it is 50%, and for plateau, that is 2045, it is 80%. Remember these facts for your prelims. And it goes for 2019 10% to 2036 85%. So we see that Article 5 parties are not part of Group 2. Remember this critical data for your prelims point of view. Prelims के लिए ये critical data है. Then Group 2, Bahrain, India and Islamic Republic of Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Then technology review in 2022 and every 5 years is there. Technology review from 4 to 5 years before 2028. Consider the compliance deferral of 2 years from 2028 of Article 5 Group 2 to address growth in the relevant sectors above certain threshold. Remember this crucial data for your prelims and mains. Now, ultraviolet rays are the most problematic rays that erode the surface of earth and goes into the degradation of various kind of environmental processes. So there is type of radiation we see that long wavelength of 315 to 400 millimeter and good for health and pass through the atmosphere. So the wavelength going from 315 to 400 is again good. Then ultraviolet beam of 280 315 harmful for skin and most filtered by the atmosphere. It is harmful. So remember this range, that is ultraviolet range 100 to 280 nanometer, most damaging and completely absorbed by the ozone layer. So how the ozone layer becomes very important to protect human and the animal survival on the earth's surface. Ozone rays, ozone layer caters the destructive UV rays inside the environment and absorb it at the upper level and protect the human body from getting various kind of problems. So substances controlled by this Montreal Protocol are Annex A, that is chlorofluorocarbons and halogens. Annex B shows chlorofluorocarbon, carbon tetrachloride, methyl chloroform. Annex C shows that hydrofluorocarbon, Annex F hydrofluorocarbon. Now classification of countries. So countries are also classified in order to develop their various kind of methods and models. Article 5 parties in developing countries and whose annual calculated level of consumption control the substances Annex A is less than 0.3 kilograms. Then there is entry into the force of protocol for it. So various countries are taking part in the amendment round and that are again cultivating various kind of agendas for their development and use of various climatic factors. So we will see in the next part that there is a Vienna Convention on protection of ozone layer 1985 enter to 1988 promotes research and monitoring of human activity on the ozone layer. Then it takes concrete action against activity and adverse effect on the ozone layer. Further adopted 1987, entered into 1989. Remember this Vienna Convention, very important, and it calls for the specific action in order to protect the ozone layer. तो अभी हमने देखा कि ओजोन लेयर कैसे अल्ट्रावायलेट रेज को कैटर करती हैं और ह्यूमन बॉडीज को और एनिमल्स के सर्वाइवल को प्रमोट करती हैं. सो ओजोन लेयर प्रोटेक्शन के लिए हमने वियना एग्रीमेंट लाया एंड दैट इज अगेन पार्ट ऑफ रिड्यूसिंग द केमिकल्स दैट आर harmful for ozone such as chlorofluorocarbon, hydrofluorocarbon जो कि रेफ्रिजरेटर्स, एयर कंडीशनर्स एक्सेट्रा से इमिट होते हैं. Further, it has made in countries binding. So ये कैसा है, बाइंडिंग नेचर में है, जिसमें कंट्रीज इसको डिसअलाउ नहीं कर सकती हैं. कंट्रीज हैव टू फॉलो इट इन ऑर्डर टू पुश देयर डिमांड्स एंड दैट आर प्रोवाइडिंग अ टाइम बेस्ड टारगेट फॉर मेजरेबल कमिटमेंट्स. यानी कि एक टाइम बेस्ड टारगेट कंट्रीज को दिया गया है फ्रेंड्स, एंड दैट टारगेट अगेन गोज फॉर मीटिंग द रिडक्शन टारगेट ऑफ chlorofluorocarbon plus hydrofluorocarbon and other greenhouse gases to protect ozone depletion. तो आप इसे याद रखेंगे. Now in 1990 there is a Montreal Protocol that makes it a multilateral fund in order to protect the environment. In 1990 the Technology and Economical Assessment Panel TEAP was there, Development Technology and Economical Advisory Body of the Montreal Protocol of the parties. Next part is timeline of the protocol. So Montreal Protocol की timeline कैसे कैसे. In first we see that in 1985 the Vienna Convention held, that makes the target for reduction of ozone layer. Now secondly 1995 Vienna meeting of parties again held. In 1987 we formed a Montreal Protocol at Canada to deplete the ozone layer is signed, and in 1919 the London Amendments of ozone depletion substances at A2 level for chlorofluorocarbons was met. Then in Montreal meeting of parties 2007, phasing out of A2 and A5 countries from hydrofluorocarbons. Okay. Then in 1991 there is a Nairobi meeting of the parties. Nairobi, where is Nairobi? In Kenya. तो केन्या देश में अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज अगेन नैरोबी. नैरोबी में हम देख रहे हैं कि A5 कंट्रीज को फिर से रिड्यूस करने के लिए कहा गया क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन. Then in 1993 Bangkok meeting of the parties. So where is Bangkok? In Thailand. We see that there is meeting for A2 countries to reduce the hydrofluorocarbon for 10 years target. 10 सालों के अंतर्गत क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन को रिड्यूस करने का टारगेट दिया गया. Then we see in 1992 Copenhagen Agreement for chlorofluorocarbon reduction for A2 countries. A2 countries के लिए again target रखा गया. In 1999 there is Beijing Amendment. How this diagrammatic diagram is showing you to remember this fact for your prelims as well as mains point of view. And last is Kigali Amendment 2016. Phase down of hydrofluorocarbon is established. So I hope you remember this data and keep it in your mind. I believe that there is again next session. So for now I am taking a break.